apologies if you can't see my face or if the camera's a little bit off focus. I'm only an amateur, and I'm sorry, but I just do not have the time or energy to make a professional video. So this isn't meant to be a professional channel anyway. This is just me off the cuff talking. So I am sorry, but there's nothing I could do about that. So if you can't see my face properly, you can't see my eyes, you just have to understand there's nothing I can do about that. I don't have the energy as a disabled person doing these videos on the cuff. I don't have the energy to do that. I don't have the energy to do that, and I don't really have the resources to get high quality equipment either. These are just videos that I do, so like I said, you just have to take that. I'm sorry, but I try my best. I hope it is on camera, but I'm just saying if it isn't, you know, I'm not faffing around trying to fix it, is what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm just reading out the diagnosis letter, the ADHD one to you. So I guess it's part 2 of that, so just carrying on from the other video. So, capacity statement regarding treatment. Anna has a mental capacity to make decisions pertaining to her treatment and welfare and consents to the ongoing treatment. Update, and I met Anna over video consultation from on the Thursday of the 20th March. Anna was referred for an ADHD assessment. Anna is a 37-year-old lady. I'm a lady. It's funny that when they say lady, and I always wonder why they say lady instead of woman. It always comes across as quite quaint. A lady. Not a woman, but a lady, you know. Unfortunately, due to her debilitating OCD related to contamination anxiety, Anna has been housebound for the last 5 years since the COVID pandemic. She has struggled with OCD since childhood, which became disabling in her late teens. Pre-COVID pandemic, Anna described learning to manage her OCD better, and at the time was able to travel and volunteer to an extent with support. However, the pandemic heightened her fear of contamination. For the last 2 years, she only goes out into her garden. Her father, who lives in the adjacent house, does all her shopping for her. That's good that they put that on there. That's good for DWP evidence, actually. Because I think this letter is now DWP ready. Like, the other one had some things in there I didn't want in a letter for the DWP. Like, I feel like I send this off as evidence if, you know, when we have to move over to PIP, you know, it says that I'm housebound and everything. So I think it is quite good evidence. Anna is currently awaiting a social services review to further support her living situation. Anna's main issues surround her OCD and social isolation. However, she denies feeling depressed. I don't know why they always... Yeah, that's right. She is a self-described light sleeper, but sleeps on average between 6 and 7.5 hours per night. While her diet is limited in terms of range of food that she eats, Anna's appetite is okay and she eats healthily. Anna was keen to be assessed for ADHD due to her significant issues surrounding organisational tasks. We completed the ADHD Diva questionnaire with Anna. Anna describes long-standing symptoms of ADHD since the age of 7 years old. In actual fact, it's before then, it's actually since like toddlerhood, but I think that the reason I put that there is it has to be 7 is their like age unit, but it doesn't really matter. That's the sort of age they use, you know, in their diagnosis. It's like significant that it has to be there from there, but my symptoms were actually present before then. But again, I can't be asked to phone them up and quibble it because I sort of feel I've had to be back and forth constantly quibbling stuff and it gets tiring. At least the main stuff that I disagreed with in the other letter has been taken out and the other stuff I wanted in here has been put in, so that's the main thing. As a child, she remembers having lots of energy, which caused her to be disruptive in class. Describing herself as a reactionary seeker, Anna remembers frequently disturbing the activities of other children and lacked any social inhibitions while in public. It's funny that, because like, when I was a kid, I didn't have any social inhibitions. I was very annoying. I was an annoying child. As she reached adulthood, these symptoms of hyperactivity and impulsivity became less prominent as Anna made an effort to act in a more socially acceptable way. Currently, Anna struggles most with organisational tasks. Procrastination and setting herself too many tasks in one day stops her from being able to complete things. She can easily become engrossed in tasks which she enjoys, such as crafting and reading, but she struggles multitasking. Anna showed a lot of insight into her symptoms. She understands how the symptoms of autism, ADHD and OCD may overlap, but feels like there has been a long-standing pattern of ADHD symptoms since childhood, hence these are better explained by ADHD rather than OCD. We discussed the treatment of ADHD. Anna does not wish to start medication for ADHD and prefers to learn better self-help strategies. We spoke about examples of these which you can find on websites such as ADHD UK. Considering our significant organisational difficulties, which includes making things in our home, I should really read cleaning things in our home. Making things sounds a bit weird, but anyway. And being unable to keep track of many appointments that are outside of her usual routine, we would recommend that Anna is provided with extra support for these management tasks, including cleaning and organising daily activities. In summary, Anna has symptoms of combined type ADHD. She had a special needs assessment as a child which described severe impairments affecting learning and was supported by her parents. I like the fact that's in there because I think that's quite good for DWP. You always have to think of DW, just because I'm thinking this could be sent off as evidence and they say, oh, she had severe problems as a child with special needs. I'm hoping that'll be used as a red flag for them to see I'm not just someone with temporary mental health problems. So I think it's quite good that that's actually in black and white, because I think it's quite good for the DWP to see that. You know, the fact that I had severe problems as a child, you know, it shows it's long standing. And I suppose we can like quote that as well and say, and in the report it says, she admitted that her issues with impulsivity have brought disharmony to her social relationships. Anna was appropriately dressed. At times she was walking back and forward, but there was no visible fidgeting was on the video call. She maintained poor eye contact. Don't know how they can really assess eye contact on a Zoom call, but anyway. Like I say, I never actually look at the face anyway, because I always have it on minimiser, so I was looking, and like I said, it's really funny, because that other psychiatrist said I had good eye contact, but I wasn't even looking at his face at all, because I had it minimised, so it must just so happen I happened to be looking in his eyes at that time. Speech is of a normal weight and tone, mood was euthymic, no psychotic disorders, and no thought disorder. Yours sincerely, sent unsigned to avoid delay. So that's the updated, amended letter. Still not absolutely perfect, like there are things in there I might want to have altered or slightly, but compared to the first one, which had some really annoying stuff in it that I wasn't happy with, as I said in my other video, do go and check it out, I feel this one is a lot better, and I feel like I send it off to the DWP, feeling that it's not going to be have any information in there that could potentially be used to discount my issues. Like it mentions factor mouse round, it mentions the childhood problems, it mentions the fact that I have debilitating OCD, it uses quite good language. So, yeah, I feel I could send that off quite confidently as evidence to the DWP when the next assessment comes up. I'm still waiting to be migrated from DLA to PIP, and I'm really hoping we'll find out tomorrow, Tuesday, what the verdict is regarding the 4-point rule for new for people being moved over for new PIP claimants, which I presume also includes people on legacy DLA who have yet to be migrated. If that is the case for new PIP claimants, then I'm seriously considering asking to be moved from DLA to PIP before the deadline so that we can be assessed under the old rules. But that is quite a scary and difficult decision, because obviously it is incredibly stressful. My dad does all of the forms for me because I literally can't do them without melting down. It's too much for me. I'm too disabled to do the forms, basically. Yeah. Obviously I can't be the only one who's too disabled to fill out the forms. It's kind of, I want it because you need to do the forms to get the money, but I literally melt down. I literally need others to take care of it, or it just won't happen, because I just go weak, like mentally I just can't do it. Like I literally just can't do it. It's a bit like how I was at school when I had to write an essay and I literally could not do it. And I would have meltdowns, and then my mum would literally just tell me what to write because I couldn't do it. It's like that. But with this, it's even worse because I can't even look at the forms. And it's not like I can't write or anything, because people say, oh yeah, you can write, and like, no, you know. It's got nothing to do with that. It's to do with this whole autism paralysis blockage thing, and also the fact I have severe anxiety over the forms, because it's basically like a phobia. Like, it's not the same thing at all, me writing something for pleasure that I'm motivated to do, and doing these forms that I literally can't do. And also, it's just not the same thing at all. And also, these forms are horrendously difficult. Like, even for people who don't have disabilities, they're horrendously difficult. Because I think also because of the OCD, I worry and I obsess about what I've written in them, and then I can't do anything else, and it just takes over, and I literally can't do anything else. And then I just get so and that just results in a meltdown because I'm so worried and so anxious, and it's just too much, and it's so overwhelming. So God knows what I'm going to do when my dad's no longer here. It's a kind of rather a horrible thought, really. I guess family, I'll have to have family maybe, my auntie maybe will come to my rescue, because seriously I can't manage these forms. Social services I don't trust. Yeah, I'm not someone who gets suicidal or anything. I'm lucky I don't have depression. But I do get self-destructive in other ways, like for example not attending to important stuff because it's too much and overwhelming. Again, I could risk getting into financial difficulties and all sorts. So social services will have their work cut out then, won't they? Because I do have a care plan, so I guess they'll have to help me if that happened. But yeah, they should just leave off disabled people. It's absolutely disgusting that people like me, who can never work and are lifelong cases, have to constantly be reassessed. It's just disgusting because it's like our situation hasn't changed. We have the same evidence. Nothing's changed. Like, you know, obviously I haven't always been disabled as I am now. Like now is really bad. Like for the last 5 years being not being, you know, the last 2 years completely housebound, and the last 5 years not being able to go anywhere outside of a very, very narrow like residential area. That's obviously that's like as bad as it's ever been. And I was actually getting better before the pandemic. I was getting quite a lot better to the point of being able to do volunteering, because I did quite a lot of volunteering of my own initiative, like at charity shops and things, but I could only do that after a lot of support and I needed a lot of support to do it. But I was really trying so hard to do like voluntary work and things that I could do, but I could only manage like a couple of hours a week, and I often couldn't turn up because of my OCD, but I was getting a lot better. And I was travelling places, and basically I was getting a lot better. I still had OCD and it's still really disabling, but I was getting a lot better. Never to the point of actually being able to work, but like properly, like with a contract and stuff, because of being extremely unreliable, but I was getting a lot better. And that was only after a lot of support, by the way. It took about 10 years to get to that point, and that was with a lot of support. Support workers, I had support workers that I saw most days of the week who helped me do things like that. And then pandemic happened, and now, yeah, it's as bad as it's way worse. I'm 10 times more disabled than ever, and I can't get any support at all. Doesn't make sense, does it? That you literally can't get any support at all when you need it the most. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. It's got massive. It's going to be a massive uphill struggle to get to where I was, and we're talking, and I just don't see it, and it definitely won't happen without support. So yeah, I mean, let's face it, I'm 37 years old, and I've never worked in my life. I've done volunteering and things, and I did DWP permitted work ages ago when I was a lot better, but I've never been able to do like proper work, like a proper job, you know, beyond like a couple of hours a week. And that was when I wasn't housebound, when I did some DWP permitted work with a charity, but I couldn't keep that up because I went on probation because I couldn't, because my organisation was terrible and I wasn't responding to emails and stuff. Although I did try my best. So, you know, a miracle cure, unless there's a miracle cure, it's just not going to happen. So why should people like me be reassessed when we've got a lifelong disability? Yes, admittedly it does fluctuate. Like sometimes I do get better, and this is as bad as it's ever been, but it fluctuates a bit, yes, but never to the point of me being able to be completely functional and able to actually properly work. So you just accept that that's the case, and just basically give us money for life and just let us live. Yeah, that's my little rant over. Anyway, thank you for watching.